Hello, welcome to my channel, A Piece of Gaia. My name is Lindsay, and today we're going to do a card reading all about your manifestations. What are the wishes that are coming true? What are things you have been working on that are coming your way? All right, so today's card of the day is, I already chose, number 5. You can manifest your every wish. It says stars here. So really cool. We also have our theme here. I'll do a little nail check first, get these big elephants out of the way. So we have these aquarium nail themes today. So we're also going to get a message from Whispers of the Ocean, just to kind of go along with our theme a little bit. But anyways, let's get into your reading. We have 3 different options in front of us. Underneath each one of these shells is a crystal. So I will reveal that when it comes to your reading. And we're going to also select some cards here for you guys to choose from the palmistry deck here. So if you want to go ahead down to the timestamps in the description box and hopefully in the pinned comments by now. This is the abalone, then we have the scallop, and then this is a sea snail. Okay. All right, this is going to be number 1, 2, or 3, and I will see you in your selected readings. Hello to those of you that selected group number 1 with this large abalone shell here. This shell is from my smudging stuff. I put my Palo Santo and my sage in this. It has a little stand. But we have, your crystal came out here, is this yellow crystal here. Now, I'm not confident on if this is a dyed crystal. The color yellow kind of indicates that it might be. So I feel like this is a clear quartz that was dyed to be yellow. So I feel like there is maybe something that is becoming of use to you here. And also maybe you're having to kind of fake it to make it with like your confidence or your self-esteem, because I'm seeing the solar plexus coming through in this crystal, and it has kind of a roundness to it. If I put it down, it just kind of goes. If you did not catch the card of the day here, is the reason why I even did the reading the way I did. I selected this card early this morning. I'm recording this in the middle of the afternoon right now, so the sun is kind of gone over. But we got here number 5, stars. You can manifest your every wish. I love this card because I feel like there has something to do with some camaraderie with a friend. Maybe there's a collaboration or something like that that you've wished for. Or maybe that's kind of a little bit of an end goal with whatever you have going on. And I see there's a lot of knowledge gained, a lot of books and stuff on the walls here. Also, the plants are really showing me that this feels like a very clean and well thought out plan. So the card you chose is this one here. This position of the hand is being highlighted. So below the pinky finger here. And this is partner lines. So partner or marriage lines begins at the hand percussion and ends at the mount of Mercury. There may be one line or there may be several. Some may be deeper than others. These lines indicate long-term committed relationships. They only show up for true and deep relationships. This means that a person might marry more times than the number of partnership lines they have on their palm. So let's go ahead and look into this deck here. We're going to go ahead and get 3 different cards, and then I'm going to follow it up with 3 different symbols. So I hope you all are doing well today and having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. If you are not, I hope that I can help you in some way. Maybe something I say or something that come about will spring out and make you feel like you're ready to change your energy. That is my intent. Okay, because that is what these card readings have done for me in the past, and that is what I strive for. What I'm kind of seeing here from these cards, we have number 38, worship IF out of yourself, or TF, sorry, worship the F out of yourself. And then we have number 14, learn to be a little flexible. And then number 34, the longest night. And then in these brackets here, is only temporary. We have lots of little kittens under this Christmas tree. So interesting that this has a Christmas tree. So yeah, I feel like we prepare so much for an event sometimes, and then it's just a one night thing. But is it really? Because, you know, it says is only temporary, but it says the longest night. So sometimes I feel like the longest night can be something that is celebrated over a long period of time. I mean, there's a lot of religious aspects that they celebrate, you know, long-term events like that. But I'm feeling like there is something that's coming up here within your manifestation that you've been working on, and you've been putting in the time, putting it in over and over and over. You're coming back to this. You're reaffirming this process of this manifestation. And this, I'm feeling this is a very strong and very big pull. I also feel like the number 5 here in our card of the day is really a card of, or a number of change, you know, and a change in a way that you may have felt like an odd one out, or had a lot of out there ideas that weren't being acknowledged. And now I feel they are. We have this card coming to a 5 as well. So learn to be a little flexible. So maybe there's something here with the physical body also being taken into account here with your manifestations. I also see her, you know, in this bathtub, like honoring herself. And I feel like there's it's funny, there's many different components to, you know, this night in with herself here. Yeah, and this card equaling up to a master number 11, you know, also to 2. So it's showing me that you honoring yourself, it makes you a better person to be around as well, because you have taken care of this excess energy. I feel, you know, I see this toy here is showing me something about excess energy and finding the beauty in yourself when maybe there might be things about you that are negative. Like, I don't know, in this depiction, I feel like there's a lot of aspects that you could look at very negatively. I mean, the breasts here on this individual, I don't know what's going on in this actual depiction. I mean, I feel like they could have put some bubbles there, but I feel like them deliberately showing it in this way is showing me there might be something about you that you're not acknowledging, or you're not making yourself human. You can clearly see that the chest does not look anatomic. So what I'm getting from that is either I'm also getting a nod to honoring your body after some kind of procedure that you've gone through. If you've had any bouts or trouble with this part of your body and you've really been struggling. I mean, I'm sensing so much emotion from this. I'm trying to keep my P's and Q's about me, because sometimes when I get feeling the emotion in the card and the individuals that might be attached to that, I become overly emotional and I might have to pause the video to take a pause and take a moment for myself. But I'm feeling that there's not a lot of overwhelming emotion about this, because you've made peace with this part of yourself. And if you're not resonating with that specific thing, take it as more of a broad statement of just being more comfortable in your own skin, comfortable in your body, comfortable with what's happened to you along the way. You know, our bodies change from the moment we're born to the moment we die. So there's this process that's happening. So if we're not honoring all those processes, or maybe helping those processes along, like, what are we doing, right? I mean, I feel like so much of our time is spent in this dishonoring of a lot of things like that. So I feel like maybe that's what's happening, is you're being called to more honor yourself think of yourself as this more sacred being in a light that could mean more metaphorically, I feel, when you really put the energy on it. I mean, think about yourself like that. Think about yourself in the bath, totally naked, totally just ready to receive whatever criticism your eyes put upon yourself. You know, ready for that, and then looking at it in a different way. After you have that criticism with yourself, like, honor yourself. Maybe even look at it in a way that's detached from you. I'm hearing like this. There's something about this. It's like looking at yourself in a way like you would if you were in love with someone who maybe wasn't in your physical standards, but you were so much in love with this person and who they were, and like just everything that their brain was, and like how they spoke to you and how they are with you, and how you would just love that person, and then their flaws equal love as well. You know, like I feel like that on this energy, like every part of you is now just doubling in your more appreciative energy, because you see your flaws as just more notches on that love belt. I feel like you're just like, yes, you know, leveling up on love, leveling up on self-care. And this is showing me that learning to be flexible, this could be in so many ways, but I'm seeing the number 14 coming through as the Temperance card. Yeah. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of balance to this. So I feel like, first of all, if you're going to be getting yourself into anything physical, always consult a specialist or professional in some way, because, you know, going hard into something after not doing something for a while can be detrimental to your health. So I mean, even for myself, like as an older lady now, like every move that I make, I always take into account I'm not 19 anymore, you know? Like I have to make sure that the steps that I take are balanced and efficient for my body, and that I'm not going to hurt myself in the process of going through this. Even thinking about like a whole process. Like I was recently remodeling my bathroom, and I was thinking, and I'm doing this all myself, low budget and with recycled materials, so it's taking a really long time, but I'm taking stock of like the videos. I'm just making sure that like I keep track of everything that we do. So it's like, it is a slow process, but I also think of the project itself. Like I'm at the point where I'm ready to put the tile down because I've constructed the whole area by the tub. And I'm like, well, okay, when I start that, there's 24 hours and you can't touch it. And then after that, there's 72 hours before I can put the grout down. And then there's you know, another 72 hours after that for everything to dry. And then maybe even like a month before I can put a sealant on that, so I can't really get it very wet or do anything to it, disturb it too much. So I have to be careful for like the next 2 months or so before this is actually going to be safe and secure and be as strong as it's going to be. So you can take that as a metaphor for something that you're working on. And I feel like that we had discussed like the Christmas tree energy. Like I feel like there is something that you're building up to, and this moon in the background is showing me many, many cycles that you're going through in order to get to the end result. And since we did get this partnership lines, to, you know, this card, it's a really firm on the fact that these lines are not created by fickle relationships. Okay, these lines are created on your hand as something deep ingrained in your karmic energy. Okay, something that's physically taking shape on your hand because you've put in so much time and energy. And as a partnerships kind of situation, you're going to go through quite a bit before you get those kind of lines on your hand. So if you can really think of any significant relationship, or the one that you're in at current moment, or one that maybe you have just gotten out of, I'm seeing that, you know, there is a process to that, and there's another process to dealing with how we change and evolve through that relationship. So I'm seeing that flexibility is, you know, pretty key to that, and also making sure that you have time for yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and look more into this with these cards here. Choose some symbols from the tarot. I'm also seeing that this group, you have the ability to shelter and stand on your own with the shell that you chose. This shell is a single shelled shellfish. Say that 3 times. This shell is a single shelled shellfish. So it just has the one shell, and then it grabs onto the rock. So very different from the other picks that I have. We have the scallop, and then we have the mollusk, living in a way where its home is, the other half of its home is the place where it puts itself. So it's not fleeting around like the scallop or moving around like the mollusk. It's more, you know, staying in one spot for a pretty fairly long time, if not its whole life. So I'm feeling like there's some stability to this group. I feel like maybe even some people who chose this group, you stayed in a really long place. Maybe you've always stayed in the same place your whole life. You've lived in the same country, same city, or maybe just the same country your whole life. Maybe even same state if you're in the United States, and you maybe navigated through a few cities, but you've basically lived in that state your whole life is kind of what I'm picking up from some of you who chose this group. So let's see. We have the staff of direction. We have the coffin. And then we have the flower bouquet with potential. Big message here is I see this as the 13 coming before this 14. And when I'm feeling that, I feel like there is a progression. And that progression is showing me that you have risen up. I'm seeing even her arm, and she's stretching. It's like she's even in bed still. Like I feel like she's not even on the floor doing yoga on the floor, which is, you know, the way you should do it, because this is actually not good for your spine to do it in the bed. Too much flexibility. You know, you need a hard place to lay. You really get the right stretch and the right energy. Okay, it's the right energy to move the way that you want it to move. You need to be in a very balanced state, and on this bed is not a very balanced state. So, awakening the new energy for the rebirth. So I'm feeling like in order to do that, we need to do that with poise and balance here. And then I feel like it unlocks kind of, this is coming hand in hand here with the flower bouquet and the potential, because I feel like in this rebirth, in this new beginning, we are now able to offer this. I'm seeing these flowers being offered to yourself. We have a flower in the card of this depiction as well. So it's like you're able to see your potential more because you've maybe let something go, or you've balanced something out, or, you know, like something was weighing too heavy and you got rid of it, and through that you've been able to find more of your potential here. And then I'll shift over here into the staff with, now after this process, you're now finding more direction forward. I can even look at this as how the common reading goes, as this would be present, past, future. So future is the direction I feel like you're heading in, and there may be situations where you enter into, because I feel like the staff and direction is constant movement. So there's this constant movement to your energy where you don't like put your stock in everything that you enter into. You're not going to stay in one place. You're not going to get stuck in an energy, I feel, for too long, because I feel like that's also like the movement in the manifestation energy. It's like you're understanding how this movement goes. for your manifestations. What are your wishes and manifestations aligning with you this time? This card indicates that you've entered into a very mystic time. You've got a lot of synchronicity going on in your energy. I mean, just me saying this is a 5 card, we have the 5 and then we have the 13 coming before the 14. There may be a lot of things aligning like that, showing up in your world like that. I also feel like there may be kind of a timelessness to what's going on with your time here. Like there's maybe some time is standing still. Maybe there's some slow motion stuff, or there's time where you've looked at things and you're losing track of time. Okay, there could be a little bit of that. I'm also seeing you in a dream time, noticing time as being more confined to specific areas in your life versus because I'm seeing it like time looks like this, linear. So it's like childhood, you know, teenager, adult. And I'm seeing it like you're not seeing time like that. You're seeing time like as in events. Like you go like, okay, first event that's like the biggest on the radar is something about teenage years. And then it goes number 2, it goes back to childhood, and number 3 goes back to adulthood, and then it's just ping pongs like that. But it's like that's your timeline, but it's not linear. It's by example of impression of the energy. Oof, I had to close my eyes hard on that one. I was feeling that coming through. All right, so I like to give you the deep dive on this one. So Felix Gonzalez Torres, Untitled Perfect Lovers is the deeper dive into this card. Blessings or manifestations is for you to walk with more alignment, for you to walk in the direction that you're supposed to. I'm also seeing the staff is in a healthy direction, like something where you have this purposeful, very powerful energy where you're like, I'm gonna have more meaning to my life. I'm not gonna be taken for a fool. I'm not gonna be taken advantage of. I'm moving forward in my own direction and my own purpose. And I almost am, you know, a little bit worried for those that cross your path, because I feel like they're gonna be checked and righted right away. And, you know, hey, that's their journey as well. Maybe you're supposed to be the direction giver for people as well. And this coffin, it's like you might also be somebody who manifests putting an end to things that just are in a continuance, that feel like they could have gone on forever in a situation, and really it's like that's just not a part of your energy anymore. I feel like sometimes we're like, how come like I'm here on this planet living this life and this is my only life, but yet I have to sacrifice the fact that I have to do things I don't want to do, even though I'm supposedly have free choice. So I'm feeling like there's going to be a more freer energy to the example of what I just said. Like I feel like there's like a freeness to that, like that there's an escape from that, and also just a humbleness and feeling okay with where you are and where you've gotten to. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the tarot here. So I feel a readiness, like the Christmas tree is showing me like a preparedness, like they had to have all that stuff, they had to do all that, prepare all that, and seasonal preparation can be kind of exhausting. I from in my experience, especially if you're doing anything else with your house, and you're like, oh, I've been working on my house all year, and now I gotta decorate it to say, hey, Merry Christmas. I actually put some permanent. We have some permanent solar lights in that we have. So our house lights up a lot. We have a lot of little areas where our yard is lit up because we're just like, hey, how about like forever? Oh, that's cute. So you got 2 of Wands, the Star card, and the 7 of Cups. Okay. All right, I love that you got the Star card because the card of the day here is stars. So I'm feeling like multiple manifestations, but also significant to your own individuality. Like, what is it that you need to put out that's authentic to you? And I'm feeling like this group is also very much connected to social media. The wands are showing me here that there's something you're about to step into, that you put a lot of passion and effort behind, and you're ready to see what the world has to offer you. You're ready to feel that weight. I'm feeling also in your hands of the weight kind of symbolizes like a earthly weight, or the earth in the hand symbolizes like a physical weight. So it makes me feel like you're weighing out your options, you're understanding the principles of how this is going to go, and also you're seeing it in a very positive light here with this gold earth. I feel like you're seeing like this little, you had this little crystal here, if I can pick it up. You had this little yellow crystal, and I'd said, you know, there's a little bit of imposter, or did I say imposter syndrome? I don't know if I said that, but I felt like there was a little bit of you faking it to make it, because it's kind of like a dyed yellow quartz crystal. So I'm feeling like, you know, there might be a little bit of how the delusional aspect that you could get into, the 7 of Cups, that might be very beneficial to moving forward, because there needs to be a little bit of optimism in the road. You can't have all the pessimism, but it is good to have a plan, right? It is good to have everything planned out. It's good to know the territory. It's good to know all the rules, wherever you're going, whatever you're navigating, right? But it's also good to have a little bit of a delusion wrapped around this, because when we do that, we have this like a little bit of optimism coating over things, because it's like you may not be there yet, but you have confidence in yourself that you're gonna get where you need to go. And the fact that we have the praying mantis here, I lots of connections with the praying mantis. I raised praying mantises for a while. I was kind of a nerd for praying mantises. I even sold them when I had a whole clutch like explode, and I had hundreds of them, and I ended up selling them for people's gardens and things. But I feel like there's something about this that is more, because I just said that explosion. So I'm feeling like there's more abundance than you really are set up to understand in the situation. And you're gonna see it in a way, but I feel like at this time, regulating your nervous system to get comfortable with this new abundance is going to be key. And also, the 7 of Cups gives me that you're going to need time to emotionally process each one of these options and do it in a way where you're fully like present with that option, and then being like pros, cons, you know, because I feel like this card can be like, oh, there's just so many things I can't choose. But you can, because you can do process of elimination. You can do pros and cons lists for each one of them. There's so many things you can do to choose the right thing, but also know that in this journey that you're currently on, it doesn't really matter what you choose, because every direction is designed for you. There's many different versions of you along this way as well. I'm feeling like you may understand the principle of, you know, multidimensional energy with the Star card coming out here. So there's a lot of broad thinking as far as your energy is concerned. So I wouldn't really count yourself short on any direction that you're about to take, because I feel like each one is specifically designed for you at this time. And to just have confidence, walk with confidence, even if you feel like right now you're not 110% into it. You will get into it. You will push yourself forward into it. All right, so let's go ahead and get you your last message here from the Whispers of the Ocean. What creature from the ocean would like to come visit you here to sprinkle your reading, to let you know a little bit more about your manifestation. And I apologize for my chair. It has been noisy. I think I need to adjust the bolts. I got it a few months ago and I tightened it up nicely, but I've been told you have to readjust. I get this card a lot. I love this card. This is the unicorn fish, number 44, unexplained wonder. Magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life. All prayers are answered now. Isn't that amazing? 44 being such an amazing grounded number, finding your place in the world, really understanding your own mysticism behind your physicalness as well. So there's something magical happening, and you have yet to really understand it all. There's a little bit of mystery wrapped in this, and wow, what a great surprise. I feel like one of these options that you choose is going to be a surprise. It's going to be like, I'm not sure. I'm just going to try my best. I'm going to aim for that one. And when you go into that, I'm feeling like you have set yourself up for feeling the emotions of that as well. So that manifestation is going to come to you so quickly. So congratulations with your manifestations and your wishes. They are on your way. Just keep going. Keep on that path. You got this. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today in this space, and if you would like to come out and see me again sometime, I would absolutely love that. And have a lovely rest of your day. All right, bye-bye. Hello to those of you that selected group number 2 with this card here with triangle and this scallop shell. Now we're going to reveal your crystal underneath the shell. Boom. So you got this one here. I apologize for my chair. I need to adjust the... I got it a few months ago and I realized the little bolts need probably to be tightened because it's being noisy. So you got kind of like a carnelian, or no, not carnelian, I don't really know what this stone is, but we definitely going to attribute this to the lower second chakra for sure. Okay. And then your shell here you got today was the scallop, and this pink color is showing me, some loving energy. And I'm also feeling like this is a hinge shell. So there's another shell attached to this one. So is there somebody in your life that's very special to you that you are attached to? If not, maybe that might come into question with the cards. So we're going to go ahead and look at that. Okay, and our card of the day, if you did not catch the beginning, is card number 5 here with stars. You can manifest your every wish from believe in your own magic. Yes. And if you also didn't see these crazy nails here that I got going today, little aquarium nails, yeah, they're a lot. I was like, I recently got into nails. I'm like getting into my feminine energy. I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to run through the last 20 years of nail trends. So that's what you guys are going to see. All right, so yeah, we're into the aquarium nails right now. So the triangle energy here in this card is triangles are lucky. Okay, they're marks of luck on the palm. They show success, overcoming obstacles, and also some wisdom here. The triangle of Apollo mount shows success and fortune, but with a practical influence. This person can remain grounded while achieving. Sounds nice. Then we have the triangle on active Mars. This marking here shows making good use of physical energy. Athletes can be very successful with this mark. All right. But yeah, so it seems pretty distinct though. It kind of looks like an anarchist symbol without the circle. So if you have one of those, maybe, but we're going to attribute this to your reading more than we're going to attribute it to your actual physical hand, because this is just a card. So yeah, we're going to put that out. So we got some lucky energy. They're also feeling trines and astrology as well with that, because those can be lucky. So if you've looked up your astrology chart recently and you notice some trines, maybe you need to look at those lucky areas, because maybe those might be coming up here and those might be a part of your manifestations. All right, so let's go ahead and get some oracle cards. All right, so let's go ahead and see here. We have number 43. Your nightstand is magical and so are you, which says, and this is from the Chubby Witch Oracle Night In. If you were wondering, it's a fairly new deck. So we have number 40 here. You can turn water into moonlight. And 31, sleepovers are group healing spells. So these may be very literal situations for you, but also I'm feeling like there is some mystical energy. There's some there's something within your dream time as well that's very important at this time, and I'm feeling like you're turning something that is just ordinary into something magical. So I feel this is like routines, like maybe you're making your routines really special and just designed to be more of an event and more romantic, right, than they would be if they were just like ho hum, going about my thing, doing my blah blah blah, light the candle, okay, good. You know, you're really making an event of it. Like I feel you getting dressed up. I feel you like doing your hair and like having your hair all nice the night before, and then like, you know, having it all like set up, and like you got your cute little outfit, and you've even maybe got some special snacks for your familiar little baby here, maybe a kitty or a dog, or, you know, a pet of some type. I also heard rat. That's weird. Maybe someone has a rat. There's no rat on here. But maybe someone has a pet rat. So, and then I'm seeing these girls all having their best time together, just coming together. I'm also seeing just celebrating themselves as the fact that they've been working so hard on themselves. So nice. So if you have an immediate friend circle, I'm also seeing this number 3 come through here with, yes, there's 4 girls in this card, but this is giving me 3 of Cups vibes, where there's some like soulmate energy going on, and you're really vibing with people, and you're able to talk more about more like insider stuff, more intimate conversations that might help with a next level of healing. Okay. All right. So, loving it, loving it. Each one. Okay. Get a symbol here for each one of these. Woo. Too many, too many. We will take these out. All right, about your manifestation. So more devotion, more faith, more boundaries as well. Yeah, I feel like manifestations, you know, in line with how manifestations go with boundaries is very interesting, because if you think about it, okay, think about all the things you want, and then think about those things fitting into a receptacle of some type. Like maybe the receptacle is this big, or maybe it's bigger depending on your manifestation. Maybe it's the size of a car because you want a car. I don't know. But think about all those things: a house, a car, your job. I mean, some of the etheric stuff probably takes up more capacity than the physical stuff. So I'm seeing like the boundaries of your manifestations that you're bringing in is that you're being more specific. You're being more detailed, and you're narrowing in and focusing in so much so that now those things are guarded by the fact that they're in kind of a vacuum tunnel to you that can only facilitate and bring that one thing. So I feel like, okay, I want to liken this to the energy, the way that it flows. Because I feel like there's a dip in the energy before sometimes we receive things. And this specific reading is showing me that there might be a little dip in that, and you might be, you know, working really hard to preserve your energy, or doing your spell work, or trying to get into healing stuff and doing spells so that you can maintain this very focused devotion, focused faith, focus your boundaries in, so that you can get these blessings that are coming towards you. So I'm just saying, whatever you're doing the right thing. Keep on doing it. You're narrowing in on it. I feel like it might be a little difficult for you to keep this as a constant thing, but I'm seeing that once you actually obtain that manifestation, things can go back to a little bit more of a normal pace, maybe even slowing down a little bit, or less obsession in on that one specific thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get you a archetype card here. I want to come out. The cave. Okay. So now might be the time to come out of the cave. I see you being in the cave, though. This is number 32, this card. So I'm feeling like it aligns well with the 5 message. So it's like there is a change coming, but it has to come with an inner, like, it's a compass, but that compass is lined in silver, or has a holder. So something as like a compass that is designed to be with you, maybe even as a metaphor, not something physical, but something that's giving you guidance, giving you direction, giving you focus into, I'm seeing, even walk that purpose in the darkest of places. I'm seeing, because you have a beacon of light. There's a beacon of light within this dark space. And the cave is got a very interesting energy, and we're going to get into the deep dive of that into the book. Okay, the deep dive here is Lascaux, but it's Lascaux. Or the Cave of Crystals is another deep dive, and then the Blue Grotto also. Okay, I feel like within this space, within this time that you've had to really cultivate your own space, you've really harnessed your own devotion and your faith, and with that comes inherent boundaries. It's automatic, I feel. So it's not like you're really having to push hard on these boundaries, whereas I feel like boundaries sometimes have to be constantly reinforced. I'm not picking that up for you. I'm feeling like there's something where it's almost like in the eyes. You can't really see it in this card, but there's these eyes coming through the darkness here. Yeah. So much intensity. Yeah, I feel like there's that's what it is. There's like an intimidation to you. Very powerful intimidation to you. I feel like also if there has to do with anything with relationships, because we did kind of speak of that with the Scallop, that you're definitely willing to open up and let your guard down, or do what it is it takes necessary for the right person that comes along. But if you are single watching this, there's a time period. I feel like you're going to have your guard up a little bit. And if you are in a relationship, I feel like maybe this person is getting to know a deeper, more intimate inner working of you. And that's a very beautiful, beautiful thing. I feel like you're getting to that, like, grown-up aspect of what a relationship can be, rather than what is fleeting. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get you some tarot here. Tarot. Some more information for those that selected 2 for their manifestations and their wishes coming forward. All right, we have the Emperor. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Swords. You know, manifestations don't always come at the pace that you would like them to. So I'm feeling like a lot of the things that you've routinely started to do, maybe you're at kind of an impasse. I'm feeling like there's some more information to come in to help you move forward. But at this time, the Emperor is showing me a placeholder. You're holding a place. I'm also feeling that there's a masculine energy around you that is a little bit of the determiner here of some things that might have to do with your financial world, might have to do with your physical world. If you're, you know, oh, I like that. If you're in a relationship with someone, I'm feeling that they definitely have a major impact on the way that you move forward and the pace that you're moving at. Now, if there is a child involved in this relationship at all, I feel like this child definitely has a lot to say about everything in life. I mean, I have one of these air children in my house. I have a little Gemini. He's not little anymore. He's a teenager, but you know, he's very much the vocal voice of what is going on in the world in our house. Like, I feel like I don't even have to watch things sometimes because I'm like, he'll tell me. It's all good. So maybe you have like a little messenger around you or someone around you who brings you the information, and you can just kind of sit back and be like, hey, yeah. But I also feel like a new responsibility. So we have this devotion, this faith, these boundaries. These are all aligned with the Emperor's ways. I also feel like leading up to being someone who was very responsible could be, you know, guiding these principles, guiding these ways, guiding the way that you move forward from here, whether it's metaphorical or physical. You know, and I feel a very physical aspect to this because it is Pentacles and the Emperor, but also the fiery aspect. There's an Aries energy in the Emperor. So there's still this nuance of doing things the way that they've always been done and being the child of the product of the memory of the legacy of, you know, you're continuing on something here is what I'm feeling, but also gaining a new responsibility that maybe has been given to you because of something that is now you're needing to move in that direction because physically maybe things are changing, and the information that is coming in these days, whatever you're moving into, you're needing to level it up in some way. You're needing to take more responsibility on. And the Emperor is also saying, remember some of the ways that you've been taught. Maybe some of the principles of the people that have been in your life. You know, some of maybe even the masculine influences in your life. How have they taught you how to be a stable individual? How have they taught you how to make money? Even if these individuals hold a overtly negative theme, it's asking you to dredge that up a little bit and look at it in a positive light. Like, let's say you had a neglectful father, but he knew how to make money. Okay, that's just an example. Maybe you bypass the neglect and all the negative things that you've maybe had to go into therapy for, and you think about the positive aspects of what this person has taught you. You know, whether they taught you in an aversion way or assimilation. So yeah, I'm feeling like you're bringing all this information up for yourself to see the direction that you're going to go in. And also, you know, there's 3 different individuals here in this reading. So we have 3 different people coming out. So there's two other people, you and two other people, and I'm seeing this triangle here, so I'm seeing this as a family dynamic. But there's two other people specifically in your life, one symbolizing more of a younger energy and one just a little bit older, and then maybe you are this older. There's a progression in the ages. Okay, these aren't all the same aged individuals. So something about this trio, this dynamic, is manifesting in a way that is creating a little bit more change coming up, I'm feeling, with this card of the day that we got. So, you know, it's kind of asking you with the crystal that you got is to consider the attachments that you have, feeling out how does this all really feel to you in this go around of this lifetime of you now being this responsible person instead of a father figure or someone else guiding the way. What do you want to see happen within your energy field? Who do you want to attach yourself to, and how do you want to move forward? Okay, because that always comes up. Every person I've had that takes the Emperor card is always on their way into the energy of becoming the energy that has been. So it's like, are you becoming your father? Are you becoming your mother? How do you now take those lessons and that energy and apply it to your life? And how are you going to take those lessons and then give them out to these other individuals in your life? So I'm seeing that as well. All right, so let's get you a last message here from Whispers of the Ocean. The ocean like to let you know here. Creature would like to come forward with a little message. Oh, we have the cuttlefish here with 39 back on task. Be sure you are using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider reviewing your goals, your schedule, or your project you are working on. All could use fine-tuning. I love that that came through because you know, the night really is significant of that. You know, there might be a physical task, a physical goal, something that you have within your frame of your schedule upcoming that is in line with the things that you've been doing, and maybe it needs to be changed because your energy is changing. Things are changing in a big way. You might have messages coming in that will help you to assist you to know more about this leveling up, this responsibility, or whatever is going to be coming your way. But I feel like this cuttlefish is asking you also to blend in with the environment. Let the physicalness of you be evident in this next chapter around the people that you're going to be around. Let them know how you feel. Let them see how you can be seen. Don't be a stone, a statue, staying still. Be someone who's active player and communicator in this. Okay? Don't let someone else decide things for you as well. Be someone who's moving and navigating in. If you have to insert yourself, and if it feels uncomfortable and awkward right away, do it. Just do the steps that's necessary to be actively involved, because this is your life. You're actively involved in your life, and I feel like this is showing me that this will help you. This will help elevate you and help also connect you with others involved. I mean, I love that this is called the cuttlefish too, and you got that scallop. So I'm feeling like things, you also got the one that can move the fastest. This is the shell out of all three shells. It has movement that's moving faster than, well, the abalone doesn't really move at all. And the snail is fairly slow, right? So this one can flit and fly. It almost swims in the water, goes that it uses to propel itself, you know, through the water. So I feel like the cuttlefish is also showing you a very intellectual aspect. It's a very intellectual fish. This is a very unique creature. You are a very unique creature. You are somebody who is also probably very colorful. You probably like a lot of things that are very aesthetic. I feel like a very aesthetic, beautiful environment. I also feel like your visuals, your eyes, you know, you can pick up on lots of different colors. You like lots of different beautiful things in your environment, and maybe even you like the visuals of others. I'm seeing like light shows and things like that as well. Maybe you're very interested in light shows, laser shows, fireworks displays. I'm also seeing just anything that has to do with like the ocean stuff, deep in the ocean, when they have the ultraviolet lights that go off, and they have those jellyfish that have those, like, they look like a disco ball. I could see that you might be really into that, or might delight your senses when you see things like that. Okay. All right. Well, that is all I have for you today. This has been a very interesting reading. I feel like you have lots of luck coming your way in these manifestations. Whatever you wish, whatever path you are on, stay on that path. Keep going. Be an active participant with these players involved. And I feel like all your wishes and your manifestations will come to you in due time. You got this. All right. Well, thank you so much again. And if you'd like to come out and see me again, I would just absolutely love that. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hello to those of you that selected group 3 with this sea snail shell. And then we have this card here highlighting the Luna mount. So what I'm feeling so far, if you didn't catch the beginning of the reading here, we have card number 5, which is my card of the day. Been doing this, so every card reading, do card of the day. It says, stars, you can manifest your every wish. So with that 5, I feel like there's some change, maybe very progressive, stabilizing change, and also some new ideas. And then your crystal that was revealed here was the yellow jasper. So I feel like there's a lot of confidence moving forward. Also, I feel like confidence, shell is giving me the confidence to discard things that are no longer useful to you, of the you know, also passing on something to someone else, because this shell was a hermit crab shell at one point. And I just feel like of all the 3 that you picked as well, this is the one that's going to be in a constant movement, in a constant flow. Like they're not, yes, they'll stay still to nap, rest, digest, do things like that, but for the most part, other than the scallop and the abalone's going to stay on a rock, the scallop's going to flit about, and this one is just going to move fairly at a nice consistent pace along the surface, and it's not going to really go very far unless it gets, you know, thrown out of by a current or something like that. So we're going to read this card here about the Luna mount. The mount of Luna, the moon, is the intuitive, imaginative, subconscious, and artistic part of the self. Developed, it indicates a receptive, imaginative, and nurturing personality. There is much artistic talent found with this mount. So overdeveloped shows an active imagination and potentially unrealistic dreams. These people can be psychics, dreamers, consumed artists. They may be moody, unbalanced. However, if they receive help from others, their artistic talent can flourish. Underdeveloped, a flattened lunar mound can also indicate lack of imagination. They may be uninspired, but they are realistic, grounded, and practical. Okay, this isn't about your actual physical hand. You can attribute this if you'd like, but I'm just going to use the meanings and things within the reading. Okay, so this is, you know, about the moon, about intuition, about how we use that intuition and how we balance that out is what I'm really getting from that card. Okay, some cards from this deck here. So already, with reference to the card of the day and your shell and your pick card, I really feel like your manifestation and your wishes are residing in a way that are very practical to you. Okay, these are things that have been emotionalized, have been thought of for a while, have been maybe even intuitive pulses in directions that you should go or pull in. And now you're doing that, and you're doing it in like, I feel like a more routine, you know, structured, consistent pace with the shell that you picked. And this is kind of a dark yellow, so I feel like it's a very developed sense of self also, you know, in the solar plexus. So it's like an unshakable energy. So beautiful. Unshakable. Just like that snail being suctioned to that rock with its goo and its little gravity with its they have these they're called gastropods, but they have like these little sacks and that let them, I have pet snails, and I used to have this one bigger snail. His name was Gary, and I had him for way longer than he should have actually lived. This was not his show, but he was a mystery snail. He was a golden mystery snail, and he would make a bubble inside of himself and just go up to the top and just be able to rocket to the top, or he'd be at the top and then just suck the bubble in and just sink to the bottom. So in that aspect, I feel like you're able to navigate in realms and areas very quickly just from regulating your own system. I'm also even like feeling you guys have been doing nervous system work and regulating your nervous system and understanding the nervous system. I know that's one thing that I've been talking about a little bit more regularly in my card readings, because it's very important about manifestation, about the things that we bring into our body and how they are aligned. So do they match up with you frequency wise? All right, we have number 39 here with you are more than your memories. You see this cute little Moonchild shirt. Oh, this one's the cool one with the, just like a robot arm. That's awesome. I mean, it's awesome to have a bionic arm, yes, but I'm not saying that it's awesome to not have an arm. But at the same time, like, I'm trying to be sensitive about this. Like, if there's any disabilities or anything that I feel like you've had, or anything that is a memory, like, you are more than your memories. You are more than your past. You are more than what has become of what you are. If anything, like, it's awesome that you've become an advanced form of human, you know, and regardless of what appendage or what you have going on with your physical status, I feel like you make this work for you. All right, so let's see. We have 21, a midnight garden stroll. Love that. On her leg it says lucky. And we have 30 with settle the spirits. She's got her sage going. Yeah, calming down those spirits. I also see this looks like one of those little diabetes thing that goes on the arm or something. Like, this is a chubby witch night in oracle. This is a little different, but you know, it's more honest about you know, things that we go throughout life. So I'm feeling like there's something maybe that you're finding that works for you. Okay, number 21. I love the 21. This is showing me the world card, and it's showing me this completion, this place, this comfortability that you've gotten with yourself, and also connecting with all the forces around you that have made you feel like a lot of your manifestations now are very effortless. And I see her collecting these strawberries, and that is what I feel when I'm on my strawberry patch. I have a strawberry patch in the front of my house. I really want to make one in the back too, just make it a little bigger. But I gather all these strawberries. Like, I pack my freezer and I give them away too. Like, I don't even have enough space. Like, I'll give them away, but I'll freeze as many as I can, put them in my freezer. But when I'm picking them, in that moment that I have collecting them in the good season, I feel like a queen. Like, I may not have a lot in life. Like, I feel like I have enough, like plenty, you know, to be good and feel good. But when I'm out there in my garden and I'm picking my strawberries, I feel amazing. I feel like just like, why isn't everyone else doing this? Like, that's the first thing I think. I'm like, why isn't everyone else doing this? Why isn't everyone feeling this feeling that I'm feeling? And I think that sometimes, like, maybe we're not taught that, or maybe we're not shown the way, or maybe we just don't have the space, or maybe we don't have the opportunity, or maybe we haven't created that for ourselves. And I feel like whatever it is for you, you're gonna have your moment where you created a world for yourself where you can look at it and have moments where you're like, oof, I am just having the best day today. And that is probably the best part of manifestation. You know, it's not the physical things we bring in, it's that feeling. Yeah, definitely. Because the settling of the spirits here in this card is just like, finally you can get to a place where you are feeling your best, your levels of your body are leveling out, and you are able to have those moments where things feel very complete and secure, and you're almost having like a mini celebration inside of you, or like, so good, so good. Like, I like to make the noise like, yes. I love it so much. Like, when I put these nails on, I was like, yeah, yes. I love it. All right. So let's get you some symbols here to kind of align with these cards and a little bit more energies of what you're manifesting, things like that. All right, we have the tulip with unconditional. We have the ram with leadership. And we have the rose with promise. Oh, love it. So you got 2 flowers. I feel like some things are definitely be blossoming. Whoa, we have the fruit in this card. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like when you find your fruit is when you can really lead the way. Like, I feel like this saying stroll. You're on this walk. You're leading the way. You're in charge. You're really feeling like every choice that you've made up until this moment has aligned you. And I feel like you're going to have a lot of more of those moments where you're just feeling like the promises that you made to yourself, the unconditional love and the self-care and the things that you kind of, I feel like also settling on, because sometimes there's an energy where you're pushing, but what are you pushing for? Are you trying to impress someone? Are you trying to be something that society wants you to be? You know, a version of whatever, you know, people want you to be for whatever. And it's like, you can find your place within the, like, what the world wants and what the world needs of you without listening to all those outside energies that are coming towards you. And I feel like that's what's happened. You really settled in on all those voices, all those things within your life, all those spirits that are guiding and swaying and guiding and swaying. You know, they're narrowing in. You're finding more of a path for yourself, and you're seeing yourself and accepting yourself just as you are. In this unconditional card, I also see there's a season with the tulips. I'm seeing spring, early spring. If you're watching this reading, this is a timeless reading, but if you're watching it right when it comes out, I'm feeling that, you know, March, April, and May are very, very potent months for you as far as your manifestation goes. And interestingly enough, when I did pick this card of the day, I was prompted to do a little bit of Scrabble tiles. So I just threw out some Scrabble tiles and I was able to spell out the word April. And there was like X, Y, and some other letters that did not go. And I was just like, April. And I felt like this group specifically, I will mention that too, because April may be a time when your manifestations are coming true and they're coming into your energy. And then the number 5 is showing me the month of May. So we have 4 as in April, 5 as in May. So things might really be picking up in May. I feel like you might even have a very busy time in May. 5 is kind of a busy energy. So Yeah, it's like lead yourself in the right direction. Make sure you pace yourself along the way too, like this little snail had said to you. Okay. All right, so let's get you an archetype card here. We have the thread, being connected to something. The red is showing me connected to something via childhood, something from, you know, the programming, the original programming, and you're looking at this in a full spectrum light. You're opening up into a more open-minded, open perspective, open view of the energy, and looking at that red thread of the past as a guiding thread to maybe know what not to do and what to do. Okay, that's coming through so far. Okay, so the deeper dive here is the sculptures of Eva Hesse. So, or Eva Hesse, so Evahesse. Okay. So I'm going to read the side message here. It says, you may think you have to find the thread and pull it. Imagine, though, that it's already tied around you, waiting for you to follow it home. Recall a moment in your life when you felt fully alive. The thread is waiting for you amid the details of that memory. I'm feeling, yes, definitely a connection. There's a connection to something. And I feel like that is a more personal thing. It's more individualized for you to really investigate for yourself. I feel like this is a dark space, but you're finding the light, you're finding the options, you're finding the rainbow at the end of a storm of some type as well. Okay, all right, so let's get you some tarot here. Woodland Wardens. There's some more messages for those that selected group 3. Ten of Cups. High Priestess. And the Hierophant. Wow. Some major energy to you guys. Very spiritual. Definitely, you guys, they're funny. Card readers pick number 3. I know they do. I just know it. You high priestesses out there. You freaking amazing people. All the information. Who do you give it to? Because if you're doing this, it's like whoever subscribes and listens. But very unsolicited, I feel. You don't really offer a lot of information. I feel also you might even need people to sign up for something. Sign up for a group, a premium, a membership, or something to be a part of what you fully offer. And 10 of Cups is showing me there's a lot of fulfillment in what you do. There's a lot of fulfillment in your life. There's a lot of promises I feel that you fulfill for yourself and for others, just based on the leadership that you take on in your life, the position that you give, the position that you give out. All right. And I could beef you up for a while, but we'll really speak about your manifestations here and your wishes coming through. And I feel like the major wish is that you're wishing for contentment. You're wishing for peace. You're wishing for serenity in some capacity, whether this lasts 10 minutes or, well, you're definitely hoping it lasts that longer than that. But I feel that you're in a position to feel a level of joy that may be somewhat conventional to other people. Like I can see this as like a very conventional relationship, you know, heterosexual marriage, and, you know, doing everything's the conventional way, maybe even going to church, you know, having children with lots of principles and morals and things aligned with those things, so that you can create the foundation that you need to support these individuals, and also show them a level of unconditional love that can keep them fulfilled on a long-term basis. Because I feel like, you know, sometimes we come from conditional energy in our home environment, and we have to perpetuate a certain level of success, I guess we'll say, to show other people that we are in alignment with them and that we deserve and that we belong. And I'm feeling in this, it's like there's another way to go about that. And you are a living example of that. And you show that to other people that you're around. I also feel there's definitely a connection here with the way that you are connected with other people. I feel there's definitely some nurturing going on. You're a person who nurtures personality in other people, you know, individualism. You nurture artistics, anything artistic that is coming out, you're ready to be right there, to open that door for anyone if they need help with that. I also feel like you see the potential in others. This one says people that are psychic, you know, this area being overdeveloped. So yeah, I mean, I definitely sense that there are some people in this group that are psychics that have this area of their hand very developed, and they are very much attached to this thread, very much attached to the information, and they lead the way with this information. You may have, it might be difficult. I feel this very push and pull with the leadership of the energy, because it might be very difficult at times. I even feel that for myself as well, you know, dealing in the sensitive realms of spirituality. You know, there's a certain sensitiveness that you put out and that you have to maintain, and the world is like, hey, you know, we need you to be harsh, we need you to be strong, we need you to be this rock. And, you know, there's a sensitive side of ourselves that is also like, hey, we need you to be soft, we need to be just sensitive. And it's like, hey, which one do you need me to be? And I'm feeling you guys, you've mastered the ability to be both. You've mastered this, and you may have come from a household, I'm feeling, where you may have felt like you were walking on eggshells, or you had to do things in order to perform, to make sure that a parent's mood was just so, and there was a very conditional environment, and that may have been very difficult for you to deal with. And maybe you sought outside advice or attention or things like that, and you come to this place where you're feeling very calm now. There's like a centeredness to you. There's like, you're calming down that overactive energy that maybe needed approval, needed recognition, needed anything that was designed to make you feel okay. Like you are making yourself feel okay. You're the one that makes yourself feel whole in this new chapter, in this new era that you're birthing. It's like you're a catalyst. You're very much a catalyst for other people to follow suit. Follow this thread, be attached to this thread, get into this thread. I'm feeling, you know, you really want people to be where you're at and get to where you have gotten. And I think that's the biggest manifestation here, is that you wish for so many other people to feel what you feel, be where you're at, come to the level of consciousness that you're at. And I feel like the world is changing, the world is developing, and it is because of you. It is because you've helped. It is because you're this beacon, you're this person, this light, this answers for the seeking. All right, let's get you an ending message here from a creature of the ocean would like to come forward. Would like to come forward. Yep. It's like I said all that and it felt intense, and I'm like, what creature would come forward after all that intensity? And we have the shark. Persistent drive. Number 11, see what you desire and move towards that goal. It is time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instinct to guide you for the optimal outcome. Yes. Swim fast, baby. Swim fast. Use that intuition. You got this. You are showing your skills. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I appreciate the energy that you've sprinkled into this. And if you'd like to see me again, I do this every Saturday. I upload at 6 p.m. Central Time has been my posting schedule for almost a year now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So please come out, be a part of this little energy that I got, and see all the new nails I come up with and all the stuff I'm discovering and learning and building my consciousness. And hopefully you can as well, and maybe even help me along in my journey by putting some comments and such and subscribing. All right. Well, thank you so much again, and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.